The sheriff's 22-year-old son followed a biker's wife home from work for 3 weeks straight, making lewd comments and threats. When she finally told her husband, 45 road warriors showed up at the sheriff's office with evidence that would destroy both their careers. What happened next shocked the entire county. Sarah Mitchell worked as a nurse at County General Hospital. She was 28, married to Axe, vice president of the Road Warriors MC, and had never asked for trouble. But trouble found her anyway in the form of Deputy Travis Blackwood, the sheriff's entitled son who thought his badge made him untouchable. It started on a Monday in late September. Sarah left her shift at 11 p.m. and walked to her car in the hospital parking lot. Travis pulled up in his patrol car, lights off, blocking her path. "Hey there, beautiful," he called out through his window. "Need an escort home?" No, thank you, officer,
I'm fine.
Sarah said politely, trying to walk around his car. "I'm fine." Travis got out and leaned against his vehicle. "I've seen you around. Heard you're married to one of those biker thugs. What's a classy lady like you doing with trash like that?" Sarah's blood went cold. "My husband is a good man. Please let me go to my car. I could treat you so much better," Travis continued, stepping closer. "Take you away from that dangerous life. Show you what a real man looks like." "I'm not interested," Sarah said firmly. "Please leave me alone." Travis laughed. "We'll see about that. I'll be watching you." Sarah got in her car and drove home shaking. She didn't tell Axe that night. Travis was the sheriff's son. Complaining could make things worse. She hoped it was a one-time thing. It wasn't. Tuesday night, Travis followed her home, stayed 3 cars back but always visible. When she pulled into her driveway, he drove slowly past, smiling and waving. Wednesday, same thing. Thursday, he pulled up beside her at a red light and blew her a kiss. By Friday, Sarah was terrified. Travis was getting bolder. He started texting her from an unknown number. "I know where you work. I know where you live. I know your husband leaves town for rides. Maybe I'll visit when he's gone." Sarah finally broke down and told Axe everything on Friday night. She showed him the text, described the following, explained how scared she was. Axe's face went dark with rage. Not at Sarah, at the entitled deputy who thought he could hunt his wife like prey. "Why didn't you tell me sooner?" Axe asked, holding her. "Because he's the sheriff's son," Sarah sobbed. "I thought if I ignored him, he'd stop. But he's getting worse." Axe called an emergency meeting. Within an hour, 45 road warriors were at the clubhouse. He explained the situation, showed them Sarah's texts, described the stalking. The room erupted with curses and threats. "We handle this tonight," growled Tank, the enforcer. "Find this punk and teach him a lesson." "No," said Reaper, the club president. "We handle this smart. Legal. Ruthless, but legal." Reaper was a former police officer himself, forced out for refusing to cover up corruption. He knew exactly how to destroy Deputy Travis Blackwood and Sheriff Blackwood without breaking a single law. "Ghost, I need you on surveillance," Reaper commanded. Ghost was their tech expert, former military intelligence. "Find everything on Travis Blackwood. Social media, service record, complaints, everything. Snake, you coordinate with Sarah. Document every single interaction. Dates, times, locations, screenshots of every text. Hammer, contact the county prosecutor's office. We need to know who's not in Sheriff Blackwood's pocket." The road warriors spent the weekend building an airtight case. Ghost discovered Travis had 3 prior complaints of sexual harassment, all dismissed by his father. One from a dispatcher, one from a civilian, one from another deputy who quit rather than press charges. Sarah wasn't his first victim. She was just the first one with 45 bikers willing to fight for her. Snake helped Sarah file for a restraining order Monday morning. Judge Maria Santos, who dealt with Sheriff Blackwood's corruption for years, granted it immediately. "Mrs. Mitchell, I'm also ordering Deputy Blackwood to surrender his service weapon and badge pending investigation," Judge Santos said. "The pattern of behavior you've documented is deeply concerning."
If you believe bikers are the good people, subscribe to this channel and show us your support.
Travis was furious. He called Sarah's phone 47 times in 2 hours. Every call was documented. Every call was evidence. Every call proved he was violating the restraining order. Sheriff Blackwood called Judge Santos directly, trying to get the order dismissed. "Maria, my son made a mistake. Boys will be boys. This biker gang is trying to embarrass my family." "Your son stalked and harassed a woman for 3 weeks," Judge Santos replied coldly. "That's not boys being boys. That's criminal behavior, and if you interfere with this case again, I'll have you recused from every related matter. That's when 45 motorcycles rolled up to the sheriff's office at noon on Tuesday. They parked legally in the public parking lot. Engines off, nobody blocking traffic, completely within their rights. Reaper led them into the main office with a folder full of evidence. "We're here to file a formal complaint against Deputy Travis Blackwood," Reaper announced to the desk sergeant. Sheriff Blackwood came storming out of his office. "You bikers need to leave. This is official police business." "This is official police business," Reaper said calmly. "Your son has been stalking, harassing, and threatening a citizen. We have documentation, witness statements, and recordings. Are you going to take our complaint, or do we go straight to the state police?" Sheriff Blackwood's face turned purple. "My son would never." "Your son has done this before," Reaper interrupted. "3 prior complaints you buried. We found the women. They're willing to testify now that they know they're not alone." Ghost handed over a second folder. Inside were statements from Travis's 3 previous victims, all willing to come forward, all with similar stories of harassment, stalking, and abuse of power. "You have 24 hours to investigate your son properly," Reaper said, "or we take everything to the FBI, the state attorney general, and every news station in the region. Your choice, Sheriff." The road warriors left peacefully, but they didn't leave town. They set up a 24-hour watch rotation outside Sarah's house and the hospital. Travis would never get near her again. Sheriff Blackwood tried to bury the investigation. He assigned it to Travis's best friend, another deputy who'd helped cover up previous complaints. But Reaper had already anticipated that. The bikers sent everything to the State Police Internal Affairs Division. Video of Travis following Sarah, screenshots of his texts, statements from 4 victims, evidence of Sheriff Blackwood's cover-ups. Within 48 hours, state investigators arrived. They took over the case completely, removing it from local control. Travis was arrested on Thursday for stalking, harassment, abuse of authority, and violating a restraining order. Sheriff Blackwood watched his son get handcuffed by state police officers. He tried to interfere. "You can't arrest him. I'm the sheriff." "You were the sheriff," said Captain Rodriguez of the state police. "Governor just suspended you pending investigation into corruption and obstruction of justice." Sheriff Blackwood collapsed into his chair. His career was over. His son was in handcuffs. All because he thought his family was above the law. The trial lasted 3 weeks. All 4 victims testified. Sarah described the fear, the sleepless nights, the constant looking over her shoulder. The other women shared similar stories spanning 5 years. Travis's defense attorney tried to paint the bikers as a gang trying to frame an innocent officer. Then the prosecution played the recordings. Ghost had tracked down every text, every voicemail, every social media message Travis sent. Dozens of explicit threats, sexual propositions, promises to make victims' lives hell if they reported him. The jury deliberated for 90 minutes. Guilty on all counts. Travis Blackwood got 4 years in prison for stalking and abuse of authority. Judge Santos made sure he served every day. No early release, no special treatment.
I'm here just because of bikers. And please, don't forget to like and subscribe this channel.
Sheriff Blackwood was indicted on 8 counts of obstruction of justice and corruption. He took a plea deal, resigned, and lost his pension. The man who'd been sheriff for 16 years ended up working security at a shopping mall. Sarah returned to work with her head held high. The hospital hired additional security after learning what happened. Travis's previous victims all received settlements from the county. Small compensation for years of fear, but acknowledgement that they'd been failed by the system. The road warriors' reputation in the county changed overnight. People who'd crossed the street to avoid bikers now waved and said hello. They'd seen what happened when the system failed. They'd seen 45 men stand up for justice without throwing a single punch. Sarah became an advocate for harassment victims. She speaks at colleges and police academies about recognizing abuse of power. She always brings acts with her. "This is what protection looks like," she tells audiences. Not control, not possession, but standing beside someone and helping them fight. The clubhouse has a new plaque on the wall. "We protect our own. We fight with truth. We win with evidence." Below it hangs the restraining order that started everything. A reminder that sometimes the most ruthless payback doesn't involve violence. It involves patience, documentation, and destroying your enemy with their own crimes. Travis served 3 years before parole. He moved to another state, changed his name, and works construction. Every job application asks about felony convictions. Every background check shows what he did. Some consequences last forever. Sarah and Axe renewed their vows on their 5th anniversary. 45 bikers attended. Judge Santos officiated. This woman and this man showed us something important, the judge said. Evil thrives when good people stay silent. But when good people stand together, document the truth and demand justice, evil loses every time. The Road Warriors still ride every weekend. But once a month, they escort nurses and other medical workers to their cars after night shifts. They started a program called Safe Ride Home, offering free protection for anyone working late. Not because they're looking for trouble, because they know predators exist, and someone needs to make sure potential victims aren't alone. Sheriff Blackwood's corruption investigation revealed he'd buried 23 cases over 12 years. Cases involving his friends, his family, and people who paid him off. All of those cases were reopened. Justice was slow, but it eventually came for everyone involved. The county elected a new sheriff, a woman named Patricia Chen, who'd been a state investigator. Her first official act was meeting with the Road Warriors and thanking them for their service to Sarah and the other victims. "You did what my predecessor should have done," Sheriff Chen said. "You protected citizens and demanded accountability. That's what law enforcement is supposed to look like." Axe keeps Sarah's restraining order framed at home, not as a trophy, as a reminder that his wife is stronger than any threat, that 45 brothers will always have her back, that justice works when people refuse to be silent. Sarah walks to her car after night shifts without fear now. Sometimes a biker escort shows up anyway, just because, just to make sure, just to remind everyone watching that some families choose each other and those families protect their own. Sometimes the most ruthless payback isn't violence. It's destroying someone's life with their own actions. It's making sure their crimes are documented, prosecuted, and punished. It's ensuring they lose everything while you never break a single law. Travis Blackwood learned that lesson. His father learned it too. And everyone watching learned that badges don't make you untouchable. Power doesn't make you invincible. And when you harass a biker's wife, 45 warriors will bring ruthless legal justice that destroys you completely.
If you believe bikers are good people, subscribe to this channel and show us your support.